Hello everyone, this is DoomVlad and this is a poorly handled situation. A report/opinion piece on the event that is now called the Florida UPS truck shootout. If you didn't know about this, here is some background on this event. So the Florida UPS truck shootout refers to a deadly police shootout that took place on December 5th, 2019 in Miramar, Florida. At approximately 4 p.m., Lamar Alexander, aged 41, pictured here. Oh no, that's my bad. That's the Senator Lamar Alexander, who coincidentally voted against passing a bill in April of 2013, which would have expanded background checks for all gun buyers. Huh. Well, that's a strange coincidence. Anyway, not him, but him. There we go. And Ronnie Jeremy Hill, aged 41, robbed Regent Jewelers jewelry store on Miracle Mile in Coral Gables, Florida. The robbers escaped the scene on a hijacked UPS van, holding the driver, 27-year-old Frank Ortones, hostage. After a 25-mile police chase from the scene of the robbery, the robbers and the police officers from the Miami-Dade Police Department exchanged gunfire at a busy intersection. We have a video of this event taken from the sidelines. Let's see how that looks. Yikes, so many cops for a pair of earrings. Now why does this merit attention or a video, you may ask? Well, you heard gunshots in the background of that video, and the report says that it was a busy intersection. Those two phrases don't belong next to each other, do they? What we don't see in the video is what had happened in that busy intersection. But I did find out one video on Twitter of someone who was in that intersection. Remember that video as we go deeper. Or you know what, I'll loop this bit here and talk about it later. For now, the conclusion of that event is that the robbers and the police officers from the Miami-Dade Police Department exchanged gunfire, with the end result of both robbers, the hostage, and 70-year-old civilian Richard Cutshaw being killed. Yikes. Now, here to me we go in murky waters because as civilians or entertainers, we don't know police procedures, but what we do know and have are the several photos from the event. And it doesn't look any good. Like this one, for instance. Credit to David Charles Bamberg for this one. And not just that, but people that were standing the police were taking cover behind them. Well, we have actual video of that, not just a statement. I repeat that one more time. Police officers, some, if not all with Kevlar vests, taken cover behind civilians. The Miami-Dade Police Department are certainly not winning any favors with this event. But let's hear from the Chief of Police from Coral Gables, Mr. Ed Hudak Jr. Oh dear, that name does not bode well. This is what dangerous people do to get away, and this is what people will do to avoid capture. In matters like this, it is just difficult for all of us, not just in law enforcement, but also in society. This is what we sign up to do, but these people don't. Do you mean getting stuck in rush hour traffic on a highway while making a getaway? I mean, it's clear this wasn't planned and they were not expecting such a heavy response for a pair of earrings. It wasn't part of their plan on being there. Anyone can tell you that, anyone can guess that. But what your police officers did is much, much worse, Mr. Ed Hudak Jr.
But Manny Orosa, who was Miami's police chief from 2011 to 2015, questions the tactic given the number of civilians and the hostage.
What I was looking for was for someone to be able to stop all those cars, get all those people out of the cars, evacuate them to safety.
But if the suspect or suspects are opening fire, shouldn't the officers try to neutralize them?
You should take cover. If you're shooting into a truck, and you don't have a clear vision of who you're shooting at, you just don't shoot at the truck.
Here's a picture of the UPS van shortly after the shootout. I mean, look at it, it has more holes in it than my old shirts when I was in college. UPS had something to say about this as well. On their Twitter, the following was posted. "We are deeply saddened to learn a UPS service provider was a victim of this senseless act of violence. I don't even want to continue it, but I'll leave it here for a few seconds so you can pause and read through it. It sounds like whenever I'd get on the phone with a client and apologize for the latency of a service or server. Wow, UPS, no wonder the police officers had itchy trigger fingers when they saw your van. I mean, parcels being misplaced and thrown at the door, no regards for the packaging. You'll know the story, so the police officers just took out their frustrations on the van itself. Joking aside, not even a mention of the driver in that tweet. Also, we appreciate law enforcement service. Oh yeah, thanks for killing those jewel thieves who have nothing to do with our company, just happened to hijack our slower than police cruiser's van, our wonderful van that have GPS tracking hardware on it and can be followed in real time. What would we do if not for you faithful police officers who risk cholesterol every day? Also, don't worry about that driver you killed intentionally and with no regard for his life. He was Mexican. We know we can just hire another one at Home Depot. It's fine. In all seriousness, I respect the profession of a police officer. I think they are mostly great, but then there are rotten apples in the bunch, just like with every profession and line of work. Irresponsible people, negligent, awful at their jobs. This event sadly puts a stain on their profession, and it won't be easy to get rid of. As for the driver of that UPS van, it was really just bad luck for him. Here's some info on him that CNN reports. Ordonez, a 27-year-old father of 2 young girls, was outgoing and happy. His brother Roy Ordonez told CNN, "You never knew when he was sad. He liked to fish and to play basketball and video games, but most of all, what Frank really liked to do is spend time with his daughters, ages 3 and 6 years old." Now, when the hijacking unfolded, Ordonez was actually covering the road for a driver who had called out. But UPS doesn't care about that. Oh no, they are glad their van is safe and sound. The blood is a sore to clean up, but a hard-working man for their company does not deserve a mention. His own name in a tweet of the company he was working for. UPS, you done goofed up. They got wise to the act though. Someone told them that, hey, this is not okay. We know you're filled to the brim with corporate press releases and impersonal robotic monotone ramblings, and your service is vilified for its poor quality and management, but this is not okay. And so they removed the original tweet. Gone from the internet, a cleanse on their image, and got replaced with this. And I can only hope that by providing assistance for his family means that at least for a while they will still receive those paychecks he would have rightly earned, if nothing more. I can't help but hope that at least that. My bar is pretty low for that company, and I know all they think about is profit. Back to the reaction though, this event spawned a lot of different memes and loads of opinions and comments on itself. At the moment of writing this, I cannot find one defender of the police officers who were at the scene, not one. Let's have a look at just some comments from our mainstream social media. Without the action of those brave officers, those 2 thugs would have gotten away with thousands of dollars of insured jewelry and a GPS-tracked truck full of Amazon packages. Truly, unsung heroes are they. Can't get enough praise for it. Another writes, I'm all for supporting cops because a lot of times they get a lot of unwanted hate in the media. However, there is no logical way to defend this. Taking cover behind an occupied vehicle is completely insane. And I agree. They don't care about the people there. The evidence is the body of 70-year-old Richard Cutshaw who was driving home from work. I mean, working at 70, that's a true hero in my books. Let's not forget the true lesson here. The spark that ignites a new movement in commercial customer care. Jewelry lives matter. And the memes. Oh god, the memes. I've shown you that picture, but here are a few others as I state my opinion and an update on this story. My opinion, I've made it known earlier in this video, is that there was no cause for use of this much excessive force. Not only do UPS vans have tracking enabled, which is a feature they brought to UPS Air and UPS Worldwide all the way in May 13th, 2016. Not only could they have tracked the truck using that, gone into an isolated place instead of a busy intersection, or waited for the van to get there, to an isolated place I mean. Would like to see the captain's comments on that fiasco of an operation. But then you also have Junior here with a statement such as that, and they think it's just fine. Fine and dandy. Nothing wrong there. We acted with a clear head and we used a reasonable amount of force against two people with a 9mm. It is not justifiable, if you didn't get my sarcasm. It shows a gross incompetence of the Miami-Dade Police Department. A lack of planning and not being able to think on your toes. Those are the exact opposite attributes in a job post when applying to be a police officer. Don't believe me? Well, here, let's take a look. This is the first qualifications that I found, but you can also see the conclusion of those requirements phrased in another way. The key elements here are mental strength and assertiveness. Does it look to you, from these pictures and those videos, that any possess that level of mental strength and assertiveness?
And the UPS driver who was taken hostage. His stepfather criticized the officer's actions.
They disregard the hostage. They disregard for the people around the scene. They went out there like the Old West.
There were reports that the suspects fired first. What would a police officer do? Well, my bad, it's actually 13 officers to be exact. Equipped with Kevlars, at a fair distance, not to mention the angle the shooters were in. Oh dear, that just spells 13 headshots, doesn't it? Who doesn't see that? And their response is to riddle the van with bullets while the hostage is still there, taking cover behind civilians, endangering more lives than needed to be endangered, when a cool head would have taken care of this way better. It's incompetence. Gross, negligent incompetence. And I genuinely feel sorry for the other police officers who are probably not there at the scene. We cannot generalize about all of the police officers in the Miami-Dade Police Department or in the world. Not all of them are like that. There might be good people there, people that do possess those skills and abilities that I mentioned, that are good at their job and want to serve the community, want to help out, but these guys just put a stain on that department. And the whole event put a stain on the profession of being a police officer, which is a real shame. A real shame indeed. All too often we have seen this, people ruining professions and jobs for other people in the public eye. And that's just one of the ways stereotypes are born. The update I mentioned was on December 7th, and now police face questioning about it, as they should. And I hope formal charges will be pressed, and some people will leave the force. Not to mention the whole fiasco that was orchestrated at that busy intersection. I hope whoever is in charge gets fired. There's also a GoFundMe link in the description of this video if you can help for Frank Ordonez's family. It was made by a fellow UPS driver all the way in New York, and it's almost at that goal, but they will need every penny they can get. So go check it out, help out if you can. The link is down in the description below. And that's all I have for you today. And until I see you in the next video, stay safe and stay strong. In Miramar, Florida. At a Now why did this... Now why did... Fudge. Like this one, for instance. You'll know the story, so the police officers just took out their frustrations on the